Hi there, this is Paul from Strong Too Tight, and if you're searching for one of our normal podcasts, you're going to be gravely upset because this is not going to be one of those today. This is going to be a tribute to possibly the most spectacular lady that I've ever met, somebody who has influenced my career and the career of many, many, many people, many of which are going to be on this video to basically honor the lady that is Monica Robinson. Monica Robinson was the coach at Neston Tennis Club, or Neston Cricket Club, sorry, for many years, I think 25, 30 years. And during the glory years, as we've decided to call this, of the 90s and noughties, shall we say, late 80s, 90s, noughties, were what Monica had done is she created the most spectacular club mentality where we would all go down and hit and play with one another and just have so much fun. Just being there every single weekend, every Friday night. For me, I used to go down on Friday nights and stay with my auntie or stay with my best friend Rob or Roger, who also is going to be a part of the meeting, both of them, and stay for the weekend and then go back to horrible school on Monday. Personally, she is somebody who introduced me to working with special needs. She introduced me to a level of commitment which, as much as I'm passionate about tennis, I still think that I would bow down to the levels of enthusiasm and passion that she's got. She is, without doubt, a very, very unique lady who deserves the plaudits that she is going to get. There's going to be, I think, about 10 people in the next Zoom meeting that you're about to see that will be speaking about her in part. We haven't just talked about Monica. Most of us haven't seen each other for 20 years plus. So to have that kind of level of camaraderie that's still going now, 20 years on, is testament again to this lady's ability to bring like-minded players together, like-minded people together. Personally, and now I go purely directly to Monica, I just want to thank you so much. Because of you, I've had the most incredible career. I'm now in Dubai, as I'm sure you know. I've had the privilege of working with all the top players, including Federer, Nadal, Djokovic, and ladies, Serena, Venus. I've hit with many, many players, even at my level. But hitting balls with people is a lot easier than just playing against them. So yeah, I made a video with Roger Federer in 2012. I've had Olympic gold medals in Special Olympics and in the Paralympics in wheelchair tennis, and yeah, multiple other successes. A lot of the kids that I've trained here and back in the UK are now coaches as well, which I'm 100% putting down to the mentality that you gave me. And yeah, I just want to say a massive thank you. One of the biggest things for me has always been that I would never want you to think anything other than positively about me. And certainly I wouldn't want you to think that I had any negative thoughts about you. You defined my career. You are the person who was my inspiration, is my inspiration, and I genuinely can't think of anybody else who could have had such a massive say in so many people's careers as you have. So just huge thanks. Craig and I have kept in touch, as you're about to see. He's obviously doing brilliantly down south as well. And yeah, this video or this meeting, this Zoom meeting that you're about to spend probably not too much time. I wouldn't watch all of it; it'll get boring. But when you're going to watch some of this, hopefully you're going to see some familiar faces from the past. There are a lot of people who wanted to come on. Who Craig has also been sent some messages privately. I know Colin wanted to come on, Colin Thornley, but couldn't. We had Lewis and James, Joe Looney, many others who wanted to come on but just couldn't come on at the time. We've said we're going to probably do another one, but in the meantime, massive thanks for everything. I hope you're proud of what you've achieved, because you achieved so much more than I think you realised. So thanks so much, and with all my love forever. Enjoy the video. It's all for you, and thank you so much. Over to you, Craig. So, Chris, because I haven't seen anything of you, how's life? What are you up to? What do you do?
That's a long one. Well, let's go. Should we stick to the tennis bit? I managed to quit tennis about how many years? Probably about 4 or 5 years ago. I quit tennis.
Okay.
And I got no enjoyment out of tanking people with my backhand, hitting them in the chest. I thought, this is it. I've got to give up. Getting no fun out of it. I walked off a court one day after playing a match, and I said, "That's it, I'm done."
Didn't you move to Huddersfield or a direction?
Yeah, I moved over there, and then I moved back over to Rochdale. I'm now in Todmorden. I'm actually, since lockdown, I've been thinking I might pick up a racket. You know what I mean? Because you can't. But yeah. How about you? What are you doing?
Which one are you talking to now? Let me go back to Dave because he's got his video on.
Got his video on now.
Dave, how are you, man?
Well, I'm good, Paul. Thanks. How are you?
I'm all right. I mean, we've just opened up here, guys. Because Craig and Dave in particular know Sam. Just so you know, Sam is not on for very long. But I want to make a point of saying he's going to have a baby in 2 weeks.
Oh, congratulations, Sam.
Wow, congratulations, Sam.
Cheers, guys. Thank you. Yeah, scary times.
Is it your first one?
First one. Yeah, first one.
You've left it late. What have you been doing?
Enjoying myself.
He's left it late. I still haven't yet. Roger's
my son's 15.
Hey, Rog.
I'm leaving it. I'm leaving it very late.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Roger.
Got enough rackets there, Paul, or not?
Well, I've got one of your Dunlop 200Gs in there somewhere.
Classic.
Craig, how many children have you got now?
3. 3. No, 3. I've come to an end of children. Do you know, David, can you see where I am?
No, not really.
There's Wimbledon Centre Court there, look.
Oh, yeah, I can see it. You're just in a little picture at the below. You're living in London now?
Yeah, I've been here for 2 years. 2 years next week, actually.
Right.
There's Centre Court, obviously. It's very sad that it's not going to happen this year.
What you're doing down there? You're coaching?
Yeah, so I'm at the moment I'm literally coaching across the road from here at Wimbledon Club, because that's the only thing that's open.
Yeah.
So I go various different places at the moment where we can get courts outside, because obviously nothing indoors. And I work with. I felt quite lucky in one respect, because I got asked by Colin Beecher. You may know that name, and you might know Colin, to work with his son and a whole group of them who had been offered American scholarships 2 years ago. So I basically came down and worked with these 10 guys and they were, all very decent players. So I got quite lucky with that, really. And then ever since then, I've been here, and you get lots of people just saying, "Oh, can you work with me? Can you work with me?" And that. So what I do basically now is I kind of just do a lot of players, trying to get them ready for American university.
Right.
So they may be guys who are like on Futures Tour, who, are sort of like 1,700 ITF or something like that, but that, they're doing well, but obviously, how hard it is to get right at the top, and they basically are looking to go on an American university route. Which so many people have had success from. So I think it's a good thing. So it's good. And
well, Craig, let me stop you, because we've got 3 more people just joined, and I know that Mike in particular is he's with his kids, I think, now. So I don't want to keep him online. Mike, absolutely great to see you. And I'm sorry, but I've got to do this. Helen! I haven't seen you for so many years.
Hiya.
Hi. And Emma, how are you doing as well? But Emma, I haven't seen Helen for 20 years. So, oh my God. So, hi Helen, hi Emma, hi Mike.
Hey.
How we doing?
My God, right. So guys, I mean, God, I don't even know where to begin when it comes to this. I genuinely am mega excited because, like, I don't care about saying this, even with my wife in front of me. The fact that I've got Helen after 20 years online, like, I've been waiting for her to come on Facebook. She's been not coming on Facebook. So I have to ask Helen, what have you been up to?
Hi, everyone. Not much, really. Just living the world of the NHS. It's obviously fun and games at the moment. So just taking it day by day and seeing how we get on. I mean, I'm not doing physio specifically anymore. I've kind of moved more into the management side, doing clinical project work, but potentially getting called back next week to help out, try and, dust off my physio uniform and see if they're obviously desperate. So gonna be doing that work-wise. And then still on the Wirral in Pensby.
You're in Pensby now?
Pensby girl, yes. And my mum's living with me, so she's here. She might pop in and say hello.
Brilliant. I mean, Chris, do you remember? I mean, you were kind of before my era with Monica. So
I was what?
Started it.
Again?
You're saying you're an old bastard.
That is sort of the one that the golden years started with Chris Lowe, Neil Dara, Andy Bell. We all came after you.
Yeah, you're right, Roger. He is calling me an old bastard. In a really nice way, which is good.
Yeah,
Helen, what's your surname?
Hey?
What's your surname, Helen?
Burley.
I remember that name. How old? I can't ask you how old you are.
I'll be telling.
I recognise it, and I recognised you when you came on, but I'm struggling to put names and faces apart from Roger, who looks exactly the same, but with a few grey specks through it.
There's more than a few grey specks.
We've just had Andrea join as well, just so you know, to say hi to Andrea. So we've got Andrew and Emma. So we've literally got 3 generations of golden years right now, I reckon.
Hi, Emma. Yes.
I would say, Helen, you must be about 42, 43, because you're about a year or 2 older than me. Is that a good guess?
Yeah, I'm happy to spill. Yeah, 42. Yeah.
Right. Have you got a bit of a Scottish slang?
Well, to be fair, most Scottish people would not say that I've got a Scottish twang, but most English people would say I have.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, well,
I was with Danny Curtis about 2 months ago, and he has as well.
Yeah, to be fair, he's a bit of a fanny. He's got a kind of an Edinburgh accent now, which is the sort of the sing their words. He moved to Edinburgh from Glasgow maybe about 4 years ago. So yeah, it's a slightly different accent. It's sort of more sing their words, but yeah, he's doing okay. I mean, I've been here since 2002, so what's that? 18 years. So I guess you'd kind of pick up a little bit of a twang. I still don't really understand what they say up here half the time, to be fair.
But
it's quite challenging.
You married a Glaswegian, didn't you?
I did, yeah, and that's maybe why it's lasted, because I actually don't know what she says half the time. maybe that's what she said. Yeah, so yeah, got married about five years ago, and got two little girls. Both one's 2.5 and one is 0. They were actually born on the same day, believe it or not.
Michael, just say how many years you've been up in Scotland again.
18.
You're kidding.
Wow. 18, yeah, I know.
You're old, David.
Amazing.
It's it's pretty scary. So yeah, all good. Yeah, but 2 years exactly between them both, which is pretty surreal.
Heard you on the LTA Zoom meeting yesterday.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I know. Keith landed me in that one a little bit, didn't he? It was Chris that landed me in that question a little bit. I was
didn't he?
Just as well I was paying attention. But yeah, funny games at the moment. Fun and games. So yeah, no, good to see everyone, and glad everyone's still involved in tennis in some capacity. So yeah, managed to. We were obviously a little bit later in kind of coming out of the lockdown up here, so you're allowed to play tennis. I think it was from last Friday. So I had a hit on the Saturday, Sunday, and my hand has actually got blisters all over it. So amazing. It's all gone. All the skin's gone soft, which I'm sure that's the case with everyone. So injured already.
Because we're all on this video doesn't mean we're all playing tennis. I can pretty much guarantee that there are two girls at the bottom who probably haven't touched a racket for 10 years plus. There's a slightly greying guy on my top right who hasn't touched one for 4 years, he said. So I think we're just. I mean, Roger dusted his off after God knows how many years.
I had a one match comeback last year, yeah, with Scott.
You still got that big serve, Roger?
It was not quite as big as I remember it being, but still, it got a few cheap points.
Was the foot fault as big?
Yeah.
Rog, was it actually consistent, your serve, when you came back?
Remarkably so, Chris. Scott rang me about 2 days before saying, can you play? He's playing for Birkenhead now. He said, can you play? We've got league game. And I was like, come on, mate. I've not played in about 6 years. This is going to be horrendous. And we kept trying to have a hit, but we didn't manage a hit. So the hit was the warm-up. And somehow we managed to win, yeah. So.
Tell you what, I wouldn't have fancied standing at the net while you were serving after not serving for about 2 years.
Yeah, the first one went over the back fence, yeah.
Oh, no, I was thinking more about my back. I'd be worried about my back.
Yeah, but you're always too busy crossing over, Chris.
Certain people, so sorry to talk in. I'm going to lose Sam. I don't know how many of you know Sam. Andrea, you might not know Sam. Helen, I don't think you would either.
I don't know.
Emma, I think you might know Sam, maybe. But for those of you who weren't on the call a minute ago, well, just earlier, Sam is 2 weeks away from having his firstborn child.
Wow.
Who's just been announced that he's going to have a boy.
Sam, are you still in Dubai?
Yeah, see Paul quite a bit out in Dubai, unfortunately. Yeah. Yeah, 10 years.
You see this other fella quite often?
Me, every day, almost.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much neighbours. Yeah, it's been 10 years now since I've been here. Long time. Yeah, long time.
Make sure you get some sleep before the kid arrives, because you don't get much sleep once it's arrived.
Yeah. So.
And then until they hit teenage years. Really sad.
Yeah.
You still keep in touch with your ex?
No.
What a question.
Just the odd happy birthday message. That's it. Yeah, no more.
For those who didn't know, his ex just happens to be Basner. Or now
I was hoping she might join.
Oh, yeah.
I thought she was going to join.
I got that then.
So, Dave, are you going to ask me about any of my exes and get me in trouble with my wife?
No.
We haven't got enough time, Paul.
Lots of other questions I can use to embarrass you, but don't worry.
Yeah, well, you've met my wife. So you know.
Say, Paul, I know you have your all your rackets, but I didn't realise quite how many you've got there in the background. I suppose those are only just a small proportion of them, are they?
They are. This is about a third of them.
The Hall of Fame.
My Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame.
Fantastic.
I'm actually with some of you guys on the Zoom right now, I'm looking for certain rackets that some of you definitely use. Mike, in particular, did you keep any of your princes from yonder years?
I reckon I've probably got a CTS Lightning in my mum and dad's garage, I would think.
I was hoping that you'd have the, what's the one I wanted? Yeah, the one with the bubble in the neck. I've forgotten the name of it.
Yeah, that was a CTS Lightning, and then that changed name to the DB26.
Synergy
DB26.
Didn't it go to like the precision graphite or something?
Yeah, that was the one after I used. I think you used that as well, Craig, which had the bar in the middle.
Purple and green one.
Yeah, but I think the one you're talking about, Paul, it was a CTS Lightning, and then it changed to like a purple coloured racket, which was the DB26. Which I don't think I've got any more of them. They were definitely just all smashed, I'm sure.
I was hoping that Helen might have one of her disgusting profiles.
No, I don't. I wouldn't have a clue where they were, Paul.
They might be in your parents' garage or something.
They might be in. Yeah, they might be in the cellar somewhere. I don't know.
If ever anyone's going to keep a racket in good condition, it was going to be you. That ain't ever going on the ground, is it?
I've got one for you, Paul, that you haven't got. No other male has ever used them. They were my green Wilson Chandler Manitoba ones.
You've got them?
I've kept them because just in case my others break and strings snap and all sorts. I think I've got one of them, maybe two.
All right, well, there you go. A trip to Huddersfield planned then for when I come back.
Can I just ask a technical question, Paul?
Oh, God.
How do I get other people's faces on this screen?
At the top right, you'll see something that says either speak of you or something else.
Right.
Gallery one.
Switch to active speaker.
Say again?
Switch to active speaker.
No, you don't want that. You want the view, don't you? Gallery view.
All I've got is Craig, Sam, Paul, and my own mugshot here.
All right,
so
there's one that says gallery view.
All right, okay.
Click on that and you'll get all of us.
He's got off time.
What is this about, if you don't mind me asking?
Right, what it is, Craig was at Neston last weekend, was it, Craig?
Yeah, no, it was last Tuesday.
Last Tuesday, and he videoed.
Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah, and he basically did a video from the grass from court one, and I got all choked up and emotional because I'm bordering on pathetic, and then we got chatting and we started talking about old times, and then I think we both sort of said, about how Monica had influenced us so much, and from my side of things, and this was my sort of logic. I've always had a big regret about the fact that I don't think Monica realizes just how much I give her total and utter credit for what I became. And, I've been in Dubai for 12 years. Tennis has been dominant of my life ever since, it's for 35 years. So, and it's all her, really. I mean, she was my inspiration. So we saw it, Craig and I kind of had very similar feelings on it, and we just put it out there, and here we go. Chris, we've got Rob Davis. Do you remember playing with him? You went to the same school, didn't you?
I remember the name. I am rubbish at this. Why'd you put me on the
spot? You got a memory problem.
Don't ask me about who I recognise on the court. I haven't seen everyone for about 400 years.
Well, you look very different from your dark floppy hair.
I do, don't I?
You do.
I keep
Bet you
pictures.
still cream that backhand, don't you?
Hey?
I bet you still cream that backhand, though, Chris.
Not in the court, mate.
Rob, nice to see you down in Malaysia. How are you?
I'm good, mate. No complaints.
For those of you who don't know, Rob and I have been friends ever since the Neston days. I was best man for his wedding, and he was best man for my wedding. Again, something that, without Monica would never have happened.
True.
You both found a friend.
Just the one. But yeah, so that was pretty much it, Chris. And so what I'm hoping is that maybe people. I'm as I've mentioned, Sam's going to go. He's there on my screen. Sam's going to go because he's actually come out of the baby shower for this. So I figured that what we do is if people want to leave a bit of a private message or a message, my wife will edit this video and we're going to post it onto YouTube. And then Craig, I think, is going to meet Monica. Is that right, Craig?
Yeah, I'm going to go round on. I'm coming back up to Cheshire on Tuesday night. So I'm going to go and call around now. We can kind of do that on Wednesday sometime.
And that was kind of the motivation, Chris.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
So, Sam, I know you've got to go. Mike, I believe you're probably going to have to go. So, Sam, I want to change the view just in case you're going to say. Are you going to say anything, Sam?
Is that the plan? I don't know. I thought actually Monica was online. I thought she was going to be here as well.
I think Monica's not going to know what a computer is. Jeez.
Expecting. Yeah.
Bad enough getting Dave Patterson on here, let alone Monica, I'm sure.
You know, I'm quite touched that I got DP on it. I really am. So, Sam, I mean, is there anything you want to say? Because if not, don't worry about it, and you get back to your shower.
No, just thank you. And she obviously she was my first coach as well. I'm still in tennis now. I wouldn't kind of be where I am now if it wasn't for Monica. So yeah, just a massive thank you, and I hope to see you soon.
Thanks, Sam. All the very best from me.
I'll see you all soon. Thank you.
Bye.
Mike, I know you've got to go as well.
Yeah, do you want me to say a few words?
If you could, that'd be great.
Yeah, no, well, Monica, hope you're doing really well. And yes, I had a hit actually with Jenny Little going back a couple of years ago, and I think she hadn't played tennis for about 10, 15 years, and she was still hitting the ball as sweet as a nut and playing really well. I was trying to persuade her to get back into it, and I'm sure she would have been on this call today if it wasn't her daughter's birthday. But yeah, Monica, same for me. Obviously, you were my first coach. You got me into that game of short tennis with the plastic bats and the sponge balls. And obviously I've been involved in tennis all of my life. Obviously, I still work in tennis up in Scotland now, and I still play tennis as well. And I've had many amazing experiences playing, coaching, and working in tennis. I think kind of looking back when I did more coaching on court, I think it actually shows that, you know, if you don't have a good coach to start with, then you just sort of will drop out the sport straight away. And I'm sure there's thousands of kids that try tennis and it's maybe not with the right coach and they never play it again. So yeah, just grateful that you got me involved in the game. And yeah, just I think for everyone here, it certainly makes a massive difference if this coach really gets you going and inspires you. So yeah, hope you're well, and yeah, enjoy your visit from Craig. Hopefully you'll make my nice cup of tea, and hopefully see you soon.
Thank you so much, Mike.
Right, guys, I'll leave you to it.
Bye,
Cheers,
Mike.
Mike.
Bye, guys. Speak
Cheers, Mike.
soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Helen. Bye.
Right, so I've now changed the view back to gallery view because there's kind of
Paul.
Yo,
Something I'd like David to say something, because obviously when I was growing up, David was the county performance officer and things like that. He helped me a lot, and I remember coming and doing a chat at our school actually, and was asking what I wanted to do and regarding tennis and things. And then I'm interested to know I know that David's on this call for Monica. I'm interested, you know, how much of an influence was she and benefit to you in your role within the county to have someone like her feeding people through?
Oh, well, it was a massive benefit to have a coach that was so enthusiastic, so committed, and really wanted to do just everything she could to promote and help her students. And she was always constantly on the phone to me, asking me about this, that, and the other, or trying to persuade me to come and look at players so they can maybe go on and push forward onto county squads. She was a fantastic person to work with, and I think she was underestimated at the time. And I think as years went by, people realised, you know, that really this person, if we'd had sort of 10 of them around the county, then my goodness, we would have had an unbelievable bunch of players coming out. But at the time, I remember she had some unfair criticism, which you know, I used to always try and put down and say, well, look, here is a coach that is producing players. You know, you name me other coaches around the county that are doing the same. And a great respect for her. Great respect.
I think not only in the club where we all played with her growing up as well, and the fact that she set up the what was called the Wirral Squad on a Saturday, which then incorporated kids from other clubs who weren't necessarily members of Neston, but they would come and that kind of formed a link as well, connecting different players from different parts of the area as well. And I don't think many coaches kind of would do that because they're all very protective and guarded about doing that. And I know that, you know, she sort of saw it as the benefit for the players, all the players. You know, it wasn't just the players who she specifically worked with. She just wanted to do good by everybody who was involved in the game of tennis because of her love for the game.
And whether it was because she was in a fortunate position, money didn't mean that much to her. She wasn't like a lot of coaches who are out there to earn a living, rightfully, but you know, money was probably the main objective with a lot of people. You know, she was probably helping you, Craig, and probably Paul, and maybe a number of others that maybe couldn't have afforded the normal fees. She was able to subsidise the coaching and get you involved, get you playing. Wow, huge.
I mean, there's absolutely zero chance for me, with my mum being on her own with us and the tennising world, I would have won as much as I did as a junior if it wasn't for her, firstly, and then Paul as well. You know, I remember running up to like 14. Pardon?
She kept Paul in line a bit, didn't she?
Yeah, she kept Paul in line. Yeah. There were certain things he wasn't allowed to work on, but the you know, I remember running up to like 14s nationals, and Paul would be out there as a young coach, basically on court every day with me, and you know, he did that because he wanted to, and I know that there's no way that I would have gone on to do anything anywhere near, and then who knows, not go on and do what I do now as you know, to a level I do, if it wasn't for those two. So, you know, so I think it's important that everyone sort of remembers, you know, why they have all these memories and where they, you know, what influence she had essentially right from the beginning, for me when I was 4 years old. And you know, when you make the point of saying that, you know, that money wasn't an importance to her, it was for the love. I think that kind of highlights it even more, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
I think the one thing here, which looking at the people that are actually on the chat right now, is that if I'm not wrong, we all had Barnston as winter training at some point.
Yeah. Did anyone ever pay for any of that, like court?
No, I did. I had to do paper rounds to make sure I paid for that one. But yeah, I mean, I think even Chris, I'm sure you did. Did you not do Barnston squads?
What do you mean, even Chris? Well, yeah, not that old.
Trying to point out you're old, Chris, I think.
It's not that, Chris. It was just that you were in a league above me.
No, what happened was, they even had money in those days. Coins and the odd note. No, we paid, but it wasn't a lot to go to Barnston.
No.
It wasn't a huge amount, but I have to say that when I was, I suppose I was living in Neston then. When I was living in Parkgate, when I first started playing, and I was really, really keen, we didn't have any money left over at all. And Monica used to coach me one-on-one. Nothing. That's quite an amazing thing, really.
I mean, those kind of things are the reason why, again, we're all here. Monica used to turn around to me and she'd say, when I couldn't afford anything, and she'd say, look, just hit for me and listen to everything I say and take it on board. You do the hitting and I'll teach, and you listen to what I'd say, and that can be your coaching. That's something even I've done subsequently.
Why do I wake up in the middle of the night going, bend your knees, bend your knees? They all hear it. It's like, got to get away from that term. No,
rack it back early. Rack it back early.
Yeah, rack it back. Rack it back.
Do you know what, though? You're right, because I've got two lads and I took them on the tennis court. One of them lasted a little bit longer than the other. But I can always hear, like, get your racket back early, really early. You know, and you're looking at it thinking, why aren't they getting the racket back early? That's because they haven't heard that term about 7,000 times when they're on the court. Bend your knees, what are you doing? Straight legs, this can't work. Anyway, sorry about that, bit of a rant.
No, I, just out of curiosity, has anyone heard from people like Neil Dara or Andy Bell? That kind of, I mean, maybe Neil Dara, Dave, maybe you might have had anything to do with him?
No, the last time I had any contact with Neil Dara was back in the early noughties when I was working for the LTA. I think he had an LTA position as a CDO down south.
He was in Hampshire.
We're going back about. We must be going back about 18 years. I haven't seen Neil Dara for a long time.
He played at Hull for a little bit, didn't he? He came back and played a bit.
Yeah. And then obviously, unfortunately, there was the Pete Davis thing. I mean, it's sad. I mean, obviously very sad, but Pete, you know, Monica did so much for Pete Davis, so much.
I had no idea about that had happened until Roger told me on LinkedIn.
Oh, really?
No, absolutely no clue about it whatsoever. I mean, I used to play doubles with him, didn't I?
Yeah.
I stayed in a tent with Pete Davis, which I wouldn't recommend.
Was that trip to Real, Chris?
Yeah, that trip to Real. It was in Real, right? And in the middle of the night, Lee, his mate, went, bloody hell. And I can smell Huey. I went, who's Huey? No, he's been sick. Huey Lewis has been sick in the tent. So he'd been to the pub, he'd been sick in the tent. Anyway, I gave him some money, my rent of the tent or whatever. And then Lee told me a couple of weeks later, he said, you know, he left without paying, don't you?
It doesn't sound like Pete Davis at all, that.
He's always a bit of a scoundrel, but great to play doubles with because he can just annoy the opponents into losing by every shot he plays.
I don't mind.
Can I just ask Craig, is he on his daily lockdown walk?
To be honest with you, I mean, I'll be honest. I don't think people in this world, this like city of tennis down here in Wimbledon, had paid any attention to it. They just carried on playing tennis the whole time.
Seriously,
the parks are absolutely rammed. I mean, and there's hundreds and hundreds of courts down here. You know where you can get parks, and they're charging like 10 quid an hour, 9 quid an hour for an outdoor car. You know, gravel court, and
tennis has been allowed in the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, I think it's been pretty strict. But I think London's a little bit ahead of the rest of the country. They went in lockdown very early, and then sort of. Well, I think it's been 3-4 weeks now. People have been training.
I mean, I'd love to let everybody know the cost of the court hire at the club, that the only indoor court in the UAE, which I'm fortunate enough to teach in. If you want to hazard a guess what the hourly rate is in pounds, just to rent the court?
Don't know, like 50 quid.
50, not bad. Anyone want to go anywhere, higher or lower?
I would have said 50.
What's the temperature there right now?
It's actually, it was 52 today. It hit in terms of real feel.
So that's how valuable the court will be, won't it?
Yeah.
Emma, what did you say? You said how much?
75.
Yeah, keep going.
Oh my God.
It's all relative, but you're on about 200 an hour, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, I wish. It's actually £115 an hour to rent the court, just to rent the court.
Oh
and then pay your fee.
If you want to pay my fee on top of that, it's then another £70.
Yeah. There you go.
Don't worry, I have to do groups. The only way we can afford it is we have to do groups. So yeah, don't think that I'm making good money now, especially now lockdown and everything. So there we go.
Yeah.
Right.
Sorry, Paul. As well.
Yeah, I've got to go.
You got to go as well, right? So, is there anything you want to be saying, or?
Just the same as why we're all here, to be honest. Monica was a huge part of my life as well. When I was taught me what hard work was. You know, I don't do tennis much now. I went to America here and played at school there, so I would never have done that without Monica. Yeah, she taught me what life was about, really. It wasn't just tennis, all hard work and how to deal with everything. So just a thank you.
Thanks,
I think what Monica as well was good at, Jenks, I think what Monica also was great at, I mean, because obviously I was a few years older than you, and she, you know, and obviously had the same problems of finances and things like that, and she would set up things like, you know, your mum would pay me a $5 to hit with you for an hour, and that would obviously benefit you, which would benefit me, and things like, and I did that with you as well, Andrea, I remember, and you know, that it benefits everybody, and she'd set those little things up, which just created more court time for people.
Yeah.
It was loads of win-win situations, and you don't really see that now so much, unfortunately. You certainly don't in Surrey. I don't know what it's like there these days, but it's very cutthroat. It's like you do your hour, you go. You might train for an hour and a half, you then leave. It's not the same community that was sort of created, maybe without her even realising, I don't think.
Craig, do you think if you're seeing her on Tuesday night or Wednesday, whenever you said, do you think we could do maybe something live to say hi?
Yeah.
Do you think she'd like that? You know, fair enough, people can't get that. Obviously, you know, there's people doing their own.
I was going to do it the other day, and then I rang the house, but there was no answer. I didn't want to just turn up and with a camera in her face and worry her. So I, I'm going to give her a call after we finished on this, and then I'll arrange to go over there.
Cool. Well, Emma, we're going to lose you. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you for inviting me.
Take care.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
I'm still in touch with Johnny Marsden and Mark Tate.
Oh, really?
Should have invited them if I'd have known what was going on. I didn't know what was going on, so really.
Is anyone still in touch with Neil Dermott?
God, no, not Neil for a long time.
Do you know? I don't want to go into individual stories, but there's one story with me and Neil Dermott against Heswell. We're playing against Heswell first, and we're playing first couple, and we're 6-2, 5-1 down on my serve. 15-40 down, he turns around to me and just goes, I'll just tank every single serve. Served 4 races in a row, first time I've ever done it. Won the match. He comes off board and goes, told you it was my tactics. I love Neil Dermott. He's a very nice guy.
But your tactics.
Paul, who was it? I was playing in the seniors with a lady, and she got hit in the jaw with a cricket ball at Parkgate.
Probably was Roger's friend. So, Roger, you're the cricket buff.
She was really pretty lady. She was
a really pretty lady.
Yeah.
That's your side of things. So ask Paul, because Paul had a thing about all the pretty ladies.
Rog, I'm not the one that dated one of them, so could it have been Penny? Do I dare say it was Penny?
I can't for the life of me remember her name. Can't think. I was trying to think the other day.
What was the name of the Emma? Rog, you might have to help me out. I think she played hockey. Emma, and she had brothers also there.
Emma Fernley.
No. Like older than us, way old. I wouldn't.
Be careful what you say, Paul.
She had brothers who played for the cricket team. I think both of her brothers played in the cricket team, and she was a big cricket buff.
I know who you're talking about, but I don't know.
Banned my first ever day playing for Neston. She got me banned. I got banned for 2 matches because she told me I fucking hate that bitch. Well, you hit her every opportunity, so I just tanked everything with this woman, and I had some little woman tell me I'm banned for 2 matches for being not understanding the game. In my defence, it was 4th division tennis, so it's not really that best standard. Right.
I can't remember an Emma, Paul, to be honest.
Emma, I'm gonna have to remember it. You're useless, Rog.
I know I'm becoming like Chris. I can't remember.
He's nowhere near as useless as Chris.
Who are these people?
I don't know. Who are you, Chris?
Chris, are you married?
Yeah, married. My youngest is 21 tomorrow. I know. I don't look old enough. I'd keep saying, I know. 21 tomorrow. Yeah, my eldest is 23. So I'm going over to Liverpool tomorrow. He's at uni there, so he's stuck in a house. Well, he's not stuck in a house. He's decided to stay in the house until they get kicked out at the end of June, with all his mates from uni.
Where do you live these days, Chris?
Todmorden, just on the just the border of West Yorkshire from Lancashire.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And what era were you mainly playing as a junior? Give me the years.
So I didn't start until I was about 9 or 10 years old, and I was born in 71. So it's probably early 80s. Played a bit of went to the junior county stuff over.
So you were around in the days with Ollie and Seb Jackson.
Do you know what? Do you know what? I met Seb Jackson the other day. The other week? No, not the other day. What am I on about? About 2 years ago. I was doing some training for solicitors, and he walked into the room, and I went, "Bloody hell, Seb Jackson!"
Yeah. He lives just round the corner from me, and I actually coach his children now, because I used to coach him when he was about 10 and 11, and he lives in a lovely, massive house with his own private court and everything now. And he married what's his name?
Martin Edwards.
I can't remember his first name.
Martin Edwards.
Martin Edwards. Yeah, Martin Edwards' daughter. Yeah.
He's still got all the same mannerisms he had when he was on court. When he walked in, he's kind of got these shoulders that come over, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He walks like that. He plays a lot senior tennis, doesn't he, these days?
He's good, he's massive. He wins. He goes all round. He had a spell of cancer though, don't you? About 12, 18 months ago.
No, I didn't know that. I know that he stopped working at the firm he was at.
What was it? Hodgkin's disease or something.
Oh yeah, was it? Yeah.
But he had to go on obviously on therapy and stuff, and he got through it quite well, and he was back on court and playing and winning. Yeah, he's doing very well at the moment.
He's a lovely guy as well. He'll always give you time, and he always play. I mean, I remember playing a few British tours, and we'd practice on a weekly basis.
You've gone frozen.
Yeah, and he's always there helping people, wanting to play. He just loves. He's another one, isn't he? Loves being on court, and he'll hit with anybody, won't he? Get a good hit, and you're serious about what you do.
Well, he's hitting at the moment with so many of the juniors in Cheshire here now.
Yeah,
it's good for them, and it's good for him, really.
Yeah, no, he's still playing very well.
Mm-hmm. Guys, I'm going to have to leave. I've got an appointment to go to.
Yeah, I'm going to have to make a move.
I think we're all going to go. So, look,
Paul, can I just say, Paul, we need another podcast from you and Steve. It's been a while.
It's coming.
You just need to sit 2 meters apart and do it.
2 meters is still too close for me and Steve.
I suppose even in our country, somebody else can't actually come into the household. So
no, we've lapsed now. We can go in anywhere. So we'll do one probably next week.
Brilliant. Look forward to it.
Thanks, Dave.
Well, thanks for organising this, Paul.
Yeah. Cheers, guys.
Yeah, well done, Paul.
Cheers, Dave.
Good to see everyone.
Right, well, great to see everybody. Thank you very much. Craig, I'm going to stay on just to say a private message to Mon. So if you want to as well.
Yeah, I'm free for another half an hour.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Right. Who am I losing then?
Right, I've got to head. Take care.
Message. See you. Give my love to your mum.
Yeah, likewise. Take care. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Chris.
Bye.
See you guys.
Cheers,
Paul,
Rog. Love to the family. Love to your family as well. Over there, Andrew, give my love to Paula and your dad.
Well, I don't know how to turn it off, so I'm going to have to shout my son to come in and do it.
There's a little thing in the bottom corner that says
leave meeting.
Oh God, it's on its side. Oh.
I'm going to log off too, Paul. I'll
see you,
catch
Rob.
up with you soon, yeah?
See you all.
Rob, thanks for joining.
Bye.
See you, Andreas.
Bye.
See you soon. Bye.